Okay, what we're doing is we are painting a motorcycle frame. So we're going to go in there and look at it. I'm going to explain to you what I've done to it already and where we're taking off at. Because this is about what kind of paint to use on a motorcycle frame. A lot of people want to spend a lot of money and go with the real high expensive paint, and I'm getting ahead of the game. Let's go in there and look at the frame, and I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Kind of like to look at it while I'm talking. And we got Minnie the body shop girl in the background there. Now what I did to this frame, I took it down and I had to sandblast it. You can see how clean it is and it looks precisely immaculate. That's because we had it sandblasted. This was maroon. This was like a maroon color, am I right? Kind of a maroonish raspberry. So after we got it sandblasted, we came back, we scuffed it down with 180, and then once we did that, we went back over it with a Scotch Brite. If you bring the camera and kind of go around it while I'm talking.
Well, I can see.
Well, bring it around. Kind of look at it like this. You know, kind of like this. Watch, see? See, while I'm talking, then you go like this. Right? You know? And then you come over here, you kind of look at it like that. Okay? Okay, excuse Minnie, the body shop girl. Sometimes she's a good camera girl, sometimes she's not.
You just want a bitch.
No, I don't. Well, I can stand there like this too and just hold the camera there.
And why do you need to move it all around?
Why not?
Everybody can see the frame.
Okay, it gives a good angle. Walk around it. Get up here, down there. Not like that. That ain't gonna work.
Twilight Zone.
Bring the camera in. Now walk around it. Put the camera up and down, inside out, and all that. So what you're looking at here is a perfectly cleaned off frame. Now, when you want to paint a motorcycle frame such as this one, the first thing that you want to do is sandblast it. Basically, just what I said. And when you sandblast it, of course, that's going to clean it off. Now, the next thing you're looking at on here is a primer. This is not sandable primer. Okay, I think they got the message on that.
Let's make sure they see you too. All over.
All right, thank you. Can we get on with it now?
Okay, see, you're like.
Can we get on with it now?
See how well.
Okay, when you're ready to keep going and do this, let me know.
Okay, let's go. See, you don't like to get pissed off either, do you? It's frustrating, isn't it?
All right, what we're looking at here is a motorcycle frame.
You said that.
We've had it sandblasted.
You said that.
We came back, we sanded it down meticulously, cleaned it off, and we have put epoxy sealer primer on it. When you have something like this, sandblasted, you don't have to put primers on it. 2K primer, sandable primer. Because the surface has already been sanded. Do you get it? Sandblast, sand.
Got it.
Okay? So we went ahead and we put a good, thick, full wet coat of epoxy primer. The next thing we want to do to save us money, because we don't need to sand it, right?
Right.
We just saved us, what, about 5 or 6 days of work, and we also saved ourselves $120 in material by not using the K2 primer, am I correct?
Right, and all the sandpaper.
And all the sandpaper, we forgot about that, and the time and the labor of Minnie sanding it. The next thing that we want to do is paint it. Now, being a motorcycle frame, and you know, I'm not really showing you how to do all this, it's kind of self-explanatory. I will show you when we go to paint it. Painting it is very hard, but we're going to paint it. And the reason I say it's hard is because when you're painting something like this, you got to be quick, you got to cover everything, and you can't get no runs. So using the proper reducer in your paint is going to help you with that. But anyway, what was I saying?
We're getting ready to paint.
We're getting ready to paint the motorcycle, and normally you would hear the phrase base coat, clear coat. We're not using base coat, clear coat because this is what?
A frame that's not going to be seen.
It's a motorcycle frame. It will never be seen. Once you get all the stuff that bolts onto all these brackets, you're going to see this much over here. You're going to see this little bit here. You might see a little glimpse of something over here. I might be looking at it like this and you see me from right here. That's what you're going to see on a motorcycle frame. Now, if it was a custom chopper that had the big Harley engine in it and you could see the whole frame from front to back, you know, and you want to spend $1 million on some bullshit wannabe bar hopping motherfucking Harley Davidson, more power to you, buddy, because it's not happening over here. What we're going to do on this is we're not using base coat, clear coat. We just saved ourselves a lot of money and a lot of fucking time. Let's go out there and look at what we are going to use to paint this. And another thing is the paint that we are going to use is going to be a better situation because if we have to touch this up, we're going to be able to use a brush on it and it will match perfect instead of having a little dull spot from not using the fucking clear coat. If we look at this paint right here, this is what you call base coat, clear coat. Now, base coat, clear coat paint is designed that you spray the paint on first, then you come back and you put 3 full wet coats of clear. And then, of course, if you get any trash in it, you can buff it out, blah, blah, blah. Once again, this is a motorcycle frame. What we are going to do is we are going to use some single stage paint. This is the exact identical same color as this color here, which is Deltron PPG. This is the exact same stuff. Now, the paint brand of this style is different. We're going to go ahead and save money. We're using Shopline Plus. But if you look right here, that says JAU, Direct Gloss Acrylic Urethane. That means that it's a high gloss single stage paint. And we're going to go ahead and open that. I want to show that to you, okay? Because if you look at that color right there, there you go. All right, you can see this is a beautiful paint. So to use this paint is going to save us several $100s and probably how many hours in labor?
Lots.
Okay. What we got to do though to make that paint work is we got to have a top coat hardener. Now back in the day, this would be called enamel hardener. Am I right?
Yes. Because
back in the day, it was acrylic enamel. Now another thing is, remember I was telling you about using the right reducers?
Yeah.
All right. There's the magic word right there. What did I just say? I said medium. So the hardeners today are designed to be a cold, medium, or hot type of hardener. Do you understand what I'm saying?
We're talking weather-wise.
We're talking weather-wise. If it was like 60 degrees, maybe 55 degrees or below, I'd be using the cold hardener, which would dry a lot faster. It's about what, 75 degrees right now, 78?
Yeah.
So we're going to use the medium weather, which is designed for just your average Joe fucking weather. And then if it was like 100 degrees out in the middle of the summer, right here in Dallas, Texas, of course we would be using, what does that say right there for the clear?
Slow.
Slow hardener, okay? So that's one way that you're going to eliminate getting runs in your paint, and you're also going to keep that high gloss finish. Another thing that we're going to do, and I really hate showing you these labels, but I'm in a hurry and I want to get this done. Look what we got right here. What does that say?
Medium.
Medium. All right? We're going back into the weather situation. We're going to use medium reducer. So what we're going to do to mix this paint, we're going to use 1 part paint, 1 part, we're going to use 4 parts. Let's see, it's going to be like a 1 to 4 to 4 mixture. if that makes any sense. All right, we're gonna use more paint, and then we're gonna, you see what I'm saying? So if this was how much paint we were gonna make, 1 gallon, we would use half a quart of paint, and then we would use 1 quart of hardener, and then we'd use 1 quart of reducer. That's the way that this paint is mixed. Let's get in there. I already got some mixed up in my spray gun. We're gonna go in there. Minnie's gonna stand in the back corner, and she's going to zoom in and out. Can you do that while I'm painting?
I can do that.
Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and get a coat of paint on this. I'm gonna show you how to paint a motorcycle frame. Now, when you paint motorcycle frames, you don't want the fan open real wide. You wanna close the fan down to about a medium fan, where it's almost medium, and then you wanna go ahead on your first coat. When you're using your single stage paint, you wanna put a nice, thick tack coat on it. Now, when you put the tack coat on, that's gonna be real quick. It's just gonna cover the frame, and it's gonna give the item that we're painting a structure for the paint to actually grip to, so we don't get no runs. And we're not answering that. It's a salesperson. Let's get in the paint booth and get this bitch done.
All right, here we go. Pete's getting ready to paint. He's adjusting the fan on his gun. And as you can also see, he is using an old school, old style gun. It is a siphon feed, old Binks number 7. Today, most guys, they use the HVLP gun, but not he. He's the old school kind of guy and is very partial to his Binks number 7. It's all in what you're used to. As you can see, he's going really fast. He's putting this first coat on thick as a tack coat, and he just wants to make sure that he gets paint on everything. As you can see, there's lots of nooks and crannies, so you got to be really careful and really fast.
Coat on there. Now, what I did is I closed my pattern down and I opened up my volume. That way, when I'm spraying it real fast, it's putting a nice coat on it, but it's not a thick coat, and it's doing a lot of good coverage. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we're gonna let that dry for 15 or 20 minutes. We're gonna go back and put 2 more coats on, and that's it. The key to having a nice frame paint job is not piling the paint up where it's super thick. 2 to 3 full wet coats and you're done. That's it. If we ever have to touch it up, look what we got here. We got us a throwaway brush or a 20-cent brush. We got our paint. We're going to dip it in like that. We're going to touch that little jazz up, and we're going to make it look like a rock and roll item. But it's a real simple, easy situation when you're using the single stage urethane with the proper hardener and the proper reducer. That's very important. Always go by your weather. Your weather is going to tell you what reducer and hardener to use in your paint.
for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know